On the left hand side is where all of your details will go. On your right is more of your organization of your items. First, we have our item type where you can change from prepared food, your physical good, your events tickets, your donations, your digital tickets, and other. So back to our prepared food and beverage, we have our name, our kitchen name, price. You can add a unit cost to see margins. Customer facing description, which means your customer will see the description that you put in the box here. You can put images here. Your sales tax are here. If you click edit, you can click that this item is not taxable here. Here's your nutritional information, including your allergens. Here's your location. It is available here. We can also mark it as sold out and reset it in 30 minutes, an hour, today at a later time, tomorrow, or a custom time. You can also track by availability or track by stock count. For variations, you can add variations or add option sets. So your variations would be the sizes, the price. There's your online sales price, SKU, low stock, and your shipping weight. And then our option sets are the reusable pieces. There's our modifiers, which we've already added. Bundles, which you can sell goods through your library as bundles, which when you see this star is a square plus feature. Custom attributes, which are here, which you can use to create a new custom attribute. And then manage checkout. You can make payment links. You can block this product from being purchased on its own. Skip the item details screen when it's being added to the cart. Sell as a pre-order. And fulfill orders, you can set the item prep time, which you can use a default, or you can do the item prep time for this specific product. If the item contains alcohol, you can toggle that on or off. And then if you're shipping this product, what its weight is. On the right, you have your status of this product, which your sold out is there too. The categories of this, menus, locations, your channels, for your items. So for this, we'll put in the information for an espresso. So when adding the variations and the option sets for the cup size that we created, you'll see we have our small, medium, and large. And when you click next, you can unselect those sizes that you don't want for the product, and you could click save, add your photos and your amount. For your online sales price, if you are putting this product for sale, like cheaper than what the actual price is, that's what you'll put here. That is the crossed out version that you see on most websites. There's the SKU, low stock alert, and the shipping weight. And then we'll click done, and then we'll click save. So it'll say add this item to a menu. You could fix issues. So here we have a generated one, but we'll click save without adding it to a menu first because it generated one. So now we have the espresso with a small and a medium. Now if we click it, we can come in and edit it. We have our cost. We have our espresso and our milk option saved, and we could click save. So there's our options now here. Now that we have a product in our store, if we go to our actions and export library, we'll do all items since we only have one item in, and export. This will give us a list of the products in our store, and we're going to add that to Google Sheets. Now, here's our new sheet. So we have our espresso in a small and in a medium. We have a description. We have it in the category of hot drinks. Is it prepared food? There is no weight. There's the prices. It's not archived. It does not contain alcohol. Not stockable. We have our cup size here. That's our options name. We have our option value 1 here, which our options is the sizes of the cups. We have our modifier set here. We make this smaller. All of these you can change and update in your Square store afterwards, but these repeatable things you can update now. So in adding new drinks or new foods, if I wanted to make the sandwiches, I can place the item name here. If I had a bagel, do 2 lines for the bagel, or I would do 1 flavor there and 1 there. Then I will have a description. I know this isn't going to change. I'm going to put my price here. I also know that this isn't going to change because it's to archive it and I want it public. It doesn't contain alcohol. I'm going to come back and do these two. Food, bacon sandwich. There's no variations for these. Biggest things about these spreadsheets is to make sure you are on the right line. Because if you start editing things that are not the right line, you'll end up messing up what you're doing and having to redo it. So now since I'm going to add in the food, none of the foods need the add-in modifier. They also don't need, and I want to keep this capitalized, they don't need the milk modifiers and they don't need the sweetness modifier. So, and we don't need any of the options here. So you'll help start to use the matchup of what's already there versus what the blank slate gave us. So now I will want to export this as a CSV, which I'll download. And then we're going to go back to the Square dashboard. And in the Square dashboard, we will click Import Library. And then we will add that CSV here. Once we add it in, we'll click Next. And we will be able to look at all the items that we added in. Now, before we move them, this is our point to be able to review. So we have our espresso, which we've already have in there. But if we wanted to add any updates or if there was anything that we missed or maybe we put in the wrong spot, this is the time where we will go through and update it. So we have our description. We have our categories for our food. We have our item type. We have our price. It's not archived. No, it does not contain alcohol. We don't want to add it to the check. No option names. When we want no modifiers added. So then we will click Add to Library. And then you have 2 options. You can add and update the existing library, or you can delete and overwrite your existing library. So add and update means it will add the new ones to your import, and any existing ones that had a reference code or something in those 2 first columns, it will update those items. Or if you choose this, it will delete your entire library and only add what you're uploading in. So we want to add an update and click continue. And then it will go through and import the items. Because we didn't have many, the 5 items will be updated correctly. So then we will update, and then we will refresh. Now we could download the error report and look and see. But it looks like I could look and see exactly what's wrong. And it was that bagel. The customer facing name was wrong. So when you end up having an error on your sheet, this is what the sheet would look like. and you'll be able to see exactly what's wrong with the error. So the errors for each row are listed in the final column. So the items was the bagel. And based on this, which I already know what the error is, this is the error here. An item and its variations must have the same customer facing name. So because this has plain bagel and this has blueberry bagel, they can't be connected to the same product. So you will simply erase these in your import sheet, and those variations can go through and be connected to that product. So that is how you'll diagnose your errors on your import sheet. Now, sometimes it might be a lot more errors than that, but that's why you want to work with a smaller set of data, and you want to pull with at least one or two products in there that have what you need for your full amount. Putting it in the order that we did allowed us to have the options that we needed. We didn't have to worry about having any modifiers. The modifiers were already in, our options were already in. So we didn't have to worry about adding those, they were already there. Simple error here. This is how you diagnose and figure out what's wrong and how to fix it. So if I was to take that same sheet, update those customer facing errors here, then I can import this file and it will be fine for the bagel.